Road, which was about 7 miles from Candy's house, and they found a pair of little girl's shoes in the woods, which they thought was kind of weird. And it occurred to them, oh, we have a missing little girl in the area. Perhaps they're hers. So
Mhm.
they reported it. And the next morning, a search party descended on the area, and it only took a few minutes to find Candy.
Oh dear.
And she was buried under a shallow layer of brush and pine needles. And it was a huge and horrible thing. Again, she was 9 years old. She had been raped and strangled with a piece of her clothing.
Oh wow.
And the community was shocked and scared and angry. And they had really come together to search for her. Law enforcement had worked so hard, and they worked so hard to try to solve her case. They had thousands of tips that they poured through. And Candy's case has always been on the back burner. In
Mhm.
fact, recently when it was closed, and I'll tell you all about it, uh, one of the people that was finally in charge of closing it said, this isn't, we don't count this case by the number of years, we count it by the number of careers, because
Wow.
that it's been whole careers of detectives that have worked this case. So here's what happened. When they detailed and cataloged the evidence, they had a lot of vision. We've seen this a bunch of times. It's amazing
Mhm.
to me that they had the vision they did to save the items that they saved, and to save them in a way that DNA was preserved. And they saved items that had semen on them.
Wow.
And so, you know, move forward, into the 2000s, and here we have the tech, right?
Yeah.
So, early in 2021, the Spokane Police Department investigators started working with a crime lab uh, in Washington State, and they started working with a DNA testing method that was offered by a lab in Texas. And that Texas took a semen sample from Candy's clothes, and they put it into a genealogical database. And you guys know the rest. They
Yeah.
built a reverse family tree. They narrowed it down to 3 brothers. One of the possible matches was a man named John Ray Hoff. He was the only one who had offspring. So this was the lead, but it wasn't, they wanted to be absolutely sure. So they found his daughter.